Oh, I guess I have my update too, Barry.
Yeah.
So,
We're good, Pat?
Yeah, you're gonna go.
Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order, and we'll move to communications presented by Mark Westhoff, City Manager.
thank you all. I had on here a lengthy discussion about the impacts that we are seeing from the federal funding freeze, and then that changed. So I don't know how much detail you want me to go into. Obviously, we already talked about the FAA grant that would have been impacted by it. We also identified at least one police grant for body cams that we were not able to access the reimbursement system during that funding freeze day. There could be others. A lot of our state grants that we receive actually get some federal money, and there's a lot of open questions about whether those would have been impacted. Suffice to say, I just want you to know that we are keeping an eye on it. Obviously, that may change again in the future, but as of right now, everything appears open. If we have any issues accessing those reimbursement systems, anecdotally, some places have still had problems. So we will report that to you if we do. Obviously, if you've been following the news, you know it's been a busy couple weeks for our emergency response departments, the police and fire. We've had multiple structure fires, several large joint police actions, and just without getting into the details on those, I just wanted to take a minute to thank both chiefs and their officers and firefighters for their professionalism on all of those calls, as well as our partner agencies, Atchison County Sheriff and EMS, KHP and KBI. They've all been really helpful, really professional on all of these, and have been helping keep our community safe. So thank you all. Quick update on the river level. Due to some ice jams that formed upstream during that cold snap, we did need to place and use our auxiliary intake pumps on the river for a couple days. Thankfully not as long as in the past. The river's back up now as the weather's warmed up, and we're using our regular intake, but there is still a significant ice jam upstream, so we're kind of keeping an eye on that to see if it impacts anything. We have also had about 100 feet of the riverbank south of Atchison Street that has settled and kind of slipped out into the river. It's pulled away a portion from the riverfront trail, from that sidewalk trail there. City crews have marked off that section, and we're asking the public to not cross the barriers while we assess the damage and the stability of the bank. Right now, we think it's due to the snow melt and that heavy rain that we had, but obviously riverbanks can be unstable, so we're keeping an eye on it. We are reaching out to the Army Corps of Engineers to help us kind of assess how it's looking, see if we need to do a larger stability assessment of the bank there. The sidewalk and drive replacement project that you approved in front of Santa Fe Depot will begin in the next month or so after we get our permitting done with KDOT and the railroad. The new street sweeper that you purchased is delivered and ready to go, so hopefully we'll be seeing that out there cleaning up the streets. You probably noticed that 4th and Main Street here is closed off. We have a water main break there. That's a little out of the ordinary. It's a very large water main. Though thankfully it's a small leak there, so we have a little time to work on it. It wasn't an emergency fix. We had to even order a custom clamp to go over this because the water main is so large, and that's going to be installed on Wednesday. We have notified the affected customers, but just so the public knows, that intersection will be closed at least through Wednesday. Commissioner Murphy, you mentioned the trash receptacle at 9th and Commercial in the last meeting, and that is scheduled to be replaced tomorrow. So just an update on that. You are going to see our street crews out working on a lot of potholes, which have developed over with the snow and then the freeze thaw and the wet weather that we had. Obviously, there's a lot of them around. So we welcome public reporting those to us. We don't see all of them. We would very much welcome those reports. And we'll see our street crews out there doing those, as well as replacing some signs around town that either went missing or just need replaced in one way or the other. A reminder that our ARPA nonprofit grant program is open until February 7th. So if you know any nonprofits that would be able to use that grant money, application is open until February 7th. Information's on our website and Facebook page. The LFM Park grant bids are open until February 11th. Same thing there. The information is on our website, or they can contact Snyder Engineering, who has the plans for that. And just one more reminder that our community survey is out right now. We're looking forward to getting as many responses to that as we can, so we can understand the priorities of the citizens of Atchison and be able to provide them with the best services that we can on the municipal side. That is available at atchisonsurvey.org. You could take it online or the paper version that should have been delivered to every address by now.
Can you give us a reminder when that survey ends? Is there an ending date?
Several weeks.
It didn't have a closing date on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you have any estimate on how many nonprofits have made application?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And I think we anticipate more, so. Any other questions?
That LFM Park project up there, the bids on that are on the 11th?
They're due, yeah, and it's open until the 11th.
Look at that. It looked like we spec'd out some stuff and then we kind of left it open, like the size of the building and stuff like that.
They spec'd out certain things for the purpose of communicating the caliber of things that vendors and materials. We're recommending that they let us know so that the city can look at we consider equivalent
Under the,
submission. So, we've got we do have a lot more interest this time.
Uh-huh.
Some phone calls, some emails. I asked for, I think it was January 22nd. This would be who's actually.
I'd like to have us look at that splash pad thing, not as a computer-driven thing, but as a timer-driven thing. And the way I looked at the plans that were on the site, it didn't look to me like that was even offered as an option. Are we still open to looking at that, or?
That would be considered the equivalent.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be equivalent if you're gonna put it on a timer instead of this. Turn it off and turn it
Fact
off.
that we would consider it.
Okay.
It's not such a downgraded, non-commercial quality.
Well, for instance, the one that's out at the country club. That's that kind of thing.
I don't think we've looked at that one, like, in
Yeah.
terms of the operations of it. I think
That
what
could
he's
make
saying
a
is
$300,000 difference. in
making
price.
sure, well, I don't know if that's true. We'd have to see
Well,
how the
that's what
bids
I'm
come
figuring
in. We'd
out.
have to see how that bid came
Yeah.
in. But we'd have to make sure that it's of quality for the grant specifications, and then we can consider other options. But they have to be submitted to us. We can't.
Sure.
Like I said, some of them will submit, some of them have submitted to us prior to bid for the playground. bids that we felt meet the same caliber. We would probably just reject the bid.
Well, I just didn't think it was real clear on what I looked at, that we would even look at that. I don't know whether the rest of the commission thinks it would be a tremendous amount.
There was an addendum. I questioned that, if how well.
Okay.
Did an addendum that addressed, yes, you can submit an equivalent. It doesn't necessarily give what the equivalents are. It's just from the bidders that I've seen, I'm pretty confident that they're going to submit things that are of the same caliber as the things that were spec'd.
With the computer or with the timer?
Specific to the splash pad, I would guess that most commercial splash pad companies that I'm aware of have a computerized way to operate it.
Well, the computer replacement costs the city $70,000.
That was one, I will say that was one bidder that did that, and I'm holding on to.
Well, the last bid we
Optimism
got
that-
was $400,000 was the splash pad part. And the country club put a swimming pool and a splash pad in for $100,000. So I think that's pretty legitimate to say that,
No,
yeah,
not 100,000. You said 100,000.
yeah. That's what
You
they
got a
told
number?
me.
The project was like $1 million, wasn't it?
At the country club,
Well, at the golf course.
I don't know.
Well, the whole thing was
That whole thing-
700,000.
yeah, they told
And
me
Bellevue, 700,000.
That's the.
for
The whole thing.
the pool and the splash pad and what else? Because they told me it was $100,000. I was amazed that they could do that. But anyhow, there's a lot of difference in the price of a splash pad that runs on a timer and a splash pad that runs on a computer.
There's also that particular splash pad out at the,
It's smaller.
it's much smaller than the one that we're looking at. And the one that we're looking at LFM also includes surface-mounted features that aren't just flush with the concrete, like the splash pad, the two splash pads that the city has now, and then also the one out at the country club. This one's, it's just level up.
I would suggest we need to wait and get the numbers back and see what, I mean, we've been here already. We get the numbers and it's not feasible. We got to go back,
Yeah.
Let's wait till we get the numbers and
Okay.
then debate what's worth.
It appears that splitting the project up into focused areas is generating more interest and hope will be much pricing. Hopefully that $400,000 price is significantly.
Anything else from Mr. Westhoff?
That's all I had. Any other
Any other
questions?
informational items, anyone? No? Okay, governing body comments. Commissioner Murphy.
I think a lot of the things that have happened in our community the last couple of weeks weren't people from Atchison causing the problems. There was people in either passing through town with the stolen vehicles and the shootings and such. I still have confidence in my little community. That's all.
Good.
Well, I'd like to thank our vice mayor for filling in and wish our mayor a quick recovery.
You got very quick.
And compliment our department and the police department on their exciting weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I hope the mayor gets back quickly to good health as well, and sorry for being stuck with me. I'd just like to follow up a little bit with Pastor Flack's comments there at the invocation at the start of our meeting. I listened very carefully to his words, and I'm starting to get a nervous twitch with everything that's going on at government levels, at all levels, and I would hope that more people would take to heart the kind of encouragement that he gives to public officials in doing their jobs for the right reasons, with the whole at the heart of their decision-making, not a select group of individuals. So we'll see how it goes, but we can only start and do what we can start and do here, and then hopefully others will do what they need to do. So Commissioner?
I echo those comments as well, Vice Mayor Wilcox, and kudos again to Chief Wilson and Chief Weiser and your crew for taking care of business, difficult times, and continuing to do a good job. Appreciate that. And also wish the mayor a speedy recovery, and very good job by Vice Mayor Wilcox getting us through this meeting this evening. Thank you.
All right, with that, I would take a motion for adjournment to a land bank.
I so move.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does this cover our adjournment period? We don't have to come back in and re-adjourn when we get done with the land bank, do you know?
We just need to let them stop recording before
Excuse me?
we need to have them stop it.
The recording.
We don't have.
The
We're gonna have a